Thanks for your help with understanding what a 3-2 defense strengths and weaknesses are, as well as going over the screens that we're going to be seeing with the offense we're going to use against that. So since our defense is vulnerable at perimeter shots, but more importantly at covering the corners, we're going to work on a 1-3-1 offense that's very easy to transition to an overload triangle in those corners. And that's what we're going to focus on today. So at first I want to go over is what a 1-3-1 offense is. It is one person at the top, 3 players near the free throw line, and then one more player near the bottom at the block. You want your point guard to be at the 1. You want your wings, your 2 and your 3 to be at the wings. You want your 4, your power forward, to be at the top, and it's very important that they're on the opposite side of the block of the 5. You don't want them to line up on the same line. You want them on the opposite side to generate maximum spacing. The point guard is responsible for setting up the play. So they're going to decide whether the play is going to be set to the left or to the right. What's going to determine that is what side the 4 is on. If the 4 is on the left, we're going to run that overload triangle to the left by either getting the ball to the 4 or the 2, as you'll see a little bit later. If it's on the right side, same thing, but on reverse. Once the 4 is charged with scoring, passing, and reading the defense. So once the 4 gets the ball, they're reading the defenders to see how they react. If they come up, they're looking to pass. If they stay away, he's looking to drive, shoot, or dribble penetrate. Also could be a screener and a roller, pick and popper, etc. The 4 is very important in the 1-3-1. The 5, the center position, or the warrior, they're in charge of controlling the baseline and are heavily involved in the passing and spacing and scoring the ball. The problem, the weakness with this offense is it's very hard to get offensive rebounds because everyone's on the perimeter. We only got one guy down there against 2. Probably not get a lot of rebounds. The strengths, like I said earlier, is that it's easy to generate scoring opportunities that get us into like a 3-on-2 or a 2-on-1 by overloading those zones in the triangle. So after going over the strengths and weaknesses and the roles of the 1-3-1, and like Jake did with the 3-2, we're going to talk about the mathematical formula of reading a 3-2 triangle. So when you get a 3-on-2, you basically have 3 offensive players and 2 different players. If the defense looks, like I said earlier, to stay, then you look to shoot. If they engage, you look to pass, dribble, penetrate, looking to generate a 2-on-1. A 2-on-1 is simply 2 offensive players versus 1 defensive player. Much easier to score off of. Same exact thing applies. The offensive player with the ball attacks the defender. If the defense stays, look to score, look to shoot. If they come at you, look to pass and you hit the open player. Eventually, you're trying to get to a 1-on-nobody. A 1 defense versus 0 defenders, looking for that easy layup, alley-oop, slam dunk. Now that we understand the mathematical formula of our triangle and reading and eliminating defenders as the ball moves from player to player and attacking the defense, we will have to generate a triangle from the 1-3-1 and where those scoring options come from. And we're going to use some chalk talk to figure that out. So let's come over this way. So real quick, we'll go over the 1-3-1 versus the 3-2 defense. We have the 1-3-1 in blue will be offense for all 4 plays, and 3-2 will be red for the defense of all plays. The dots are a pass, a squiggly line is a dribble, and a straight line is a person running to a spot. So in the 3-2 defense, like I said, you have 3 defenders on top, 2 defenders on the perimeter. On the 1-3-1 offense, you have the 1 at the top of the ball. You got your wings on the sides. You got the 4 at the free throw line, and you have the 5 caddy corner. So it could be like this or like this. So you can see it here on this diagram, or set up like this on this diagram. And depending on what side the 4 is at, that's the side of offense we're going to try to run the play. So our first option in generating a 3-on-2 zone is a wing give and go with an off-ball screen. So 1's going to have the ball. They're going to pass it to 2. 2 is going to dribble penetrate down to the corner. As soon as 1 passes the ball, 4 comes up and there's an off-ball screen because now 1 no longer has the ball. And will flash once 1 rolls around. This will generate our 3-on-2. We will have a 3-on-2 with 2, 1, and 4 versus x1 and x4. At the same time, 5 clears out, 3 clears out to occupy x5 and x2. Option B. We're looking to get, it's a wing overload with a give and go at 4. We're trying to get 1 and 5 versus x5. So our 3-on-2 triangle will be 4, 1, and 5 versus x1 and x5. So on this one, instead of getting the ball to 2, 1 gets the ball to 4. 1 gets the ball to 4, doesn't give and go to get to the deep corner. At this point, we're saying x1 and x4 next 3 are going to come to 4 because he's a threat at this position with the ball. He can pass, dribble, or shoot from this spot. That leaves us with a triangle of 1, 2, and 4. And we're looking to capitalize against x4 and x4 and x5. When x4 comes up, we will have a 2-on-1 with 1 and 5 versus x5. Last but not least, option C. Option C is another wing overload with a give and go at 4, but this time we're saying that x1 is not going to go to 4 and x1 is going to drop down to take away that 2-on-1, which will leave us open with a 3-point shot. So in this scenario, same thing, 1 passes to 4, drives through, but in this scenario, x4 comes up, x3 comes over to guard 4, 5 comes across, x5 comes across, x1 goes down with the give and goer, leaving 2 wide open with a 3-point shot. So your triangle will be with 4, 2, and 1, and you're taking out x1 and x4. On this one, I made a mistake. The triangle is not with 2. The triangle was actually with x1, x4, and x5. And you have x4 and x5 that you're taking advantage of because 5 and x5 come over into the play. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Otherwise, we're going to go ahead and get straight to our demonstration with the walkthrough. Thanks again, and